More than 107,000 people have so far signed a petition that's calling for a ban on the keeping of pit bulls as domestic pets. This comes in the wake of numerous attacks on adults and children recently, some of them fatal. Several attacks have been reported in the Nelson Mandela Bay metro in the Eastern Cape, where the petition has been met with mixed reaction. Let's take you live to our reporter now, Siphosethu Booi. And Siphosethu, we'll get to the reaction in a moment, but let's detail first why pit bulls have been regarded as quite problematic in NMB specifically.
Good afternoon to you, Tembegile, and to the rest of the viewers. Today is quite an interesting day for me because, for starters, I'm one that's quite afraid of dogs. So I'm standing with a pit bull. I mean, the presence of a pit bull, Tembegile. I'm going to ask my colleague, Voisa, to just give you a bit of a shot. His pit bull is 6 years old. His name is Ezra. And as far as the information that I've received here at the animal welfare is that Ezra was handed over by his owners on Friday here because of the petition and the cries and the calls of communities. You know, like you mentioned, this has, of course, divided the country. The issue of pit bulls has divided the country. Some saying pit bulls are not really dogs that are harmful if they are well taken care of, while others say they are dangerous breeds of dogs, so people should not be allowed to actually own them as pets. Now, the issue of these dogs that have been aggressive and have attacked a couple of people here in Nelson Mandela Bay, I believe around about on the 18th of June, Tembegile, and the 16th of June, there were two cases of pit bull attacks, one in Galvindale, while the other happened not far from here where we are in Fairview, where a child was attacked by a pit bull. To answer your question, if Tembegile, why they are like this, as far as the information that I've received here also, it's an issue of how the dogs are actually, of course, brought up. Joining me now is, of course, Catherine. Catherine will explain our question further, Tembegile. And I think my first question to you, Catherine, thank you so much for your time, is basically, are pit bulls misunderstood? And also maybe why is there a perspective, or rather this notion that they are not dogs that one should actually breed?
I agree with you. Pit bulls shouldn't be bred, especially with the situation that we're in at the moment. We need to clamp down on backyard breeding. This is where the problem lies, is people are breeding with their dogs unnecessarily. They're selling them onto owners that think that they can have the pit bull breed, and unfortunately are not looking after them in the correct way.
There is an adoption process in terms of how one can own a pit bull and receive a pit bull. Please take us through the legal way of owning a pit bull.
To own a pit bull is a lengthy process when it comes to adoption. And I feel that's what people should be doing. They should be educating themselves about the breed before they take on a pit bull. They are family members. They need to be family pets. They need to be cared for like you would care for your child. You would care for your pit bull. They can't be locked away, they can't be chained, and they can't be bred. So if we can get this under control, pit bulls can be family pets. With our adoption process is that it's quite a lengthy process. We will come out to your property, we will chat to the prospective family that is interested in the particular breed, and we will see whether they would be suitable pit bull parents. And that comes with any breed. That's not only the pit bull breed. But what we are trying to educate people, we are trying to let them know that dogs are pets. They're family pets. They're not there for security reasons only, to be locked in the back garden, to be ignored and ill-treated. And this is when problems arise.
So basically, Catherine, what you're trying to say is that there's a difference between a dog that is left alone at the backyard to dogs that are actually raised well inside the house as a family dog. Like Ezra here, he was a family dog. So is he any danger to the rest of the pets that are now here? Because obviously, with obvious reasons, I mean, the 107,000 people are signing a petition to say, how does that also make you feel? Also just touching on the issue of the difference between how these pit bulls are raised.
So Ezra is a perfect example. He was a loved pet. His family were pressurized into surrendering him to the shelter because he's a dangerous dog. He was looked after, he was cared for. The only I wouldn't say fault, but the only thing that his family could have done was sterilize him. We wouldn't be sitting with this problem if everybody sterilized their animals. A lot of people are taking on this breed, I think, for status. They're interested in the breed because they're great for security reasons. But if they're not cared for correctly, any dog could cause harm. If your pit bull is a family member, they're cared for, they're taken to the vet regularly, they're part of the family, and they're not isolated from you, they will be very loyal and great family pets.
We spoke about the petition. There is a petition in the province that's currently going and nationally of them wanting to ban pit bulls. 107,000 people have signed. How do you feel as a specialist of animals as a whole, and also now also being in the care of course, a pit bull and other pit bulls? Currently, you guys have 6, like you mentioned. Please take us through how that makes you feel as the team of animal welfare, knowing that there's a proper procedure of actually getting these dogs.
So what we would like to do is try and enforce that our municipalities and our law enforcement will come forward and help us with the backyard breeding. The reason why we're sitting with 6 pit bulls that are currently in our care, and that's only 6 that are looking for homes. We have pit bulls surrendered to us daily because people cannot keep them. If you follow our procedure and you take our advice, we will be able to match you with the perfect dog, whether that's a pit bull or any other breed. Pit bulls are exactly like other dogs. I personally own a pit bull, which I adopted from animal welfare. I often take her on school talks and educate children about the breed. And I see her as a dog. I see her as a family pet. And anybody that follows the correct steps and the correct procedures and is a responsible owner can own a pit bull. But unfortunately, they cannot be isolated from the family.
Thank you so much, Catherine. That was, of course, Catherine Tembegile, just giving us a bit of knowledge as far as breeding dogs, the different types of dogs, Boer bulls, and, of course, Staffies. That's also some of the dogs that are in the top 5 dogs of dogs that are actually power breeds, just like the pit bull. They come as powerful as the pit bull. So it's not only pit bulls, as far as I'm picking up, that are actually dangerous dogs. Another question then would be, since we now know some of the information that we know, are pit bulls really an issue in our country that needs to be solved, or is it the issue of backyard breeding that is the issue, Tembegile?
Right. Siphosethu, Booi, thank you very much for that update from the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. I think she's in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape.